Hi girls, this is a video for section 2A of your book, Review of Algebra. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about vocabulary of algebra. So this expression here has three terms. Each term is separated by a plus or minus sign. This term here has a coefficient of 3. It's the number that sits straight in front of the x. Okay, so this one has a coefficient of -5. I might use a highlighter so I don't have black pen everywhere. Okay, that's a coefficient of -5. So the coefficient is just the number and the sign that sit in front of a pronumeral. This term here at the end, that's just a plain old number and it has no x with it, so no x involved, just a plain old number, is called a constant term. Okay, substitute x equals -2 into the expression and above to evaluate. So this is something we might do in algebra. So every place there's an x, instead we're going to put -2 in brackets. And remembering that when we have a number next to brackets, it means multiply. So the first thing I do is square, because in BIDMAS, it says do any indices first, and that square is an indice. So it's 3 times -2 squared, so 3 times 4. And then I can do 5 times -2, or -5 times -2, so that's +10 plus 8. That gives me 12 plus 10 plus 8. And I reckon that's 30. So I've evaluated. Evaluate always means that you're going to get a number. All right. Write an algebraic expression for the following words. So here we go. 5 less than x. This is a weird one because it gets written backwards. It's 5 less than x. The x gets written first, then the 5. 3 more than twice x. So 3 more than. Twice means 2 times x. The sum of a and b is divided by 4. This is a tricky one because it's the whole sum of a and b. So I can write it a couple different ways. I can write a plus b divided by 4. In algebra, we almost always use that fraction bar. Or I could have written it a plus b divided by 4. I think this is harder and this is better and easier. The square of the sum of x and y. So I'm squaring the sum. Well, sum means add. So I'm going to add the x and y, and then I'm going to square it. Okay, good. Let's move on. Using substitution. So it says evaluate these expressions if a is 5, b is -2, and c is 3. Sometimes I highlight these because they get kind of taken away and they get kind of mixed in the problem. And I want to remember really carefully to evaluate using brackets, especially when the numbers that I'm evaluating are negative. So for A, I go, okay, 7 bracket 5, so 7 times 5, minus 2 bracket A minus C, 5 minus 3. So this gives me 35 minus 2 times 2, or 35 minus 4, or 31. Not too bad. Usually I circle my answers. This one's a bit harder because it's got that negative with the b. So I'm going to say this was a. B is b squared. So I have to put -2 in brackets. It will not work if you don't put it in brackets. Minus a times c. 5 times 3. Remember, right next to means multiply. When you square -2, you multiply by itself. So it's -2 times -2. So that's +4 minus 15. And remember about money. I have $4, but I owe 15. Or I use my calculator when I get to this point, and it turns out to be -11. Make sure you can do that on your calculator. There's your questions.